Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Cara. Today we have a DIY personalized Ogham candle decor. This candle decor is going to represent individuals as your friends or your family, and we'll go over and how we can translate these Ogham symbols as well as the different correspondences we're going to use in this craft today. Join me today as we make this wonderful new Yule decor. So what we're starting with today is some ribbon color of your choice, something at least about an inch or an inch and a quarter wide, some taffeta ribbon, some wood cookies with holes drilled in them, and some miniature terracotta pots. So let's get started. I have these ones pre-cut so we can jump right into this, and we're going to hot glue this part down. So I want to be able to reuse these pots for springtime for the person who's getting this gift. And so we're going to kind of make it a recyclable, reusable gift because I'm going to be introducing some pine needles and some blue spruce and blue fir, I think blue spruce in it, and the needles are going to fall off. So it'd be kind of cool to use this pot. So I want to make it look super sharp to make for it to last. Okay, so luckily this set is going to have one set for myself. As you see, I have 6 pieces here, and one set is going to go to my mother. So there'll be 2 of each that we're making. Holding this up, I see that I need to tie a knot, so it would be pull away from the side a little bit more. So once we have fed through the ribbon, and we're going to center it and wrap it 1 to 3 times around, depending on the length of your taffeta ribbon. And just tie a little bow in the front where you're hanging your wood cookie. Now, normally first you decorate the wood cookie first. Label it, do all the good stuff, but I had no idea what I was going to put on it yet at this point in time. I was thinking the goddess symbol, the mother maiden, the crone. And then I thought for my mom and myself and my daughter, what about using the Ogham alphabet? So for grandmother, mother, and daughter, we have the ash tree, alder tree, and the vine. So you can paint it on with black acrylic paint or whatever color you desire. But I'm going to use just an old-fashioned Sharpie because it goes really nice on the wood and it stays nice and sharp, and it's just a little bit faster. And my mom's the ash tree, and which is ironic, her maiden name is Ash as well. So I thought that was kind of cool. I'm the alder tree. And my daughter is the vine. So now that I've decided what to do there, we're going to grab on some floral foam. This I like using it for so many projects, and I'm actually going to be using it for floral this time, which is kind of wild. I don't think I've actually used this for any floral flower arranging before. It's always been for some crafts or dioramas. Okay, so now that we cut them about a 2-inch thickness, we're going to cut them in half once more. And we're going to angle off the sides, and so that'll help squish it in because our little terra pots are smaller as it goes down to the bottom. So this will help fit it in quite nicely. And don't glue these in because remember we're going to be adding some spruce and some blue spruce to this, so the needles are going to fall off as it gets dried out. So either they can water this, keep the nettles in a little bit moisture and keep it in there, or again, don't glue this part in so they can take it out in a couple months to have and reuse these pots come springtime. And you can grab some long tapered candles for this. I'm just using 5 emergency candle packs. Squishing in, just making it a little indentation going in about 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to hot glue these ones in. It kind of melts the edges of this floral form, so you got to work a little fast, but they do stay in there quite nicely. So you want to put the candles in first. And next we're going to be bringing in some blue and green pine. Now I just play around with it. I had it all, I like to kind of have it all flow one direction. And I decided to kind of fiddle around with a couple first to start off with and just see where it takes me, and then I'll copy them on the rest of them. I wound up using tweezers, a long tapered tweezers, and holding one end of the pine needles, and then it was easier to squish it into the floral form. And for a little splash of color on top of the blue, I'm adding the green. Trimming off some excess there. You can play with it however you'd like. Now I have some oranges that I dried. I tried them at a really low temperature in my oven. It did take 3 hours, and it was probably about 200 Fahrenheit. So I am going to be gluing the oranges right on the candle there. And so that way they can remove the candle, use it for something else. Now again, the needles are going to fall off. So this is kind of a recycle, reusable gift. So after I finish making these, I want to giving them to my mother about 3 weeks before Yule time, and that way she was able to enjoy. Adding a star anise seed, it's really good for protection. The star anise it has a lovely many little different things it covers. Love, healing, strength. Of course, I said protection there. Now the cloves do the same thing too. The cloves bring in protection, and they can bring in love. Now with the white candle, that's a universal color. So we have the white light coming in for the coming season. So let's kind of look at it as a 2 seasons almost, from the winter to summer. So bringing in the light after the solstice, the days start getting longer. It's nice to have that brightness come in. And the oranges help bring in the light. It represents the solar energy. Cinnamon also is protection, abundance. Now these are going to be decorations for the home. So when you decorate with little things that you can find around the house and in your kitchen and making crafts, look up the correspondences. You'll be quite amused to find that the things that you gathered all kind of rock together and make a lot of sense. So I am going to be gluing the hot glue on a little bit on the pine and the side of the terracotta pot. The hot glue, it'll remove super easy in the spring when we want to reuse these. Add a little flower there I snipped off, and I put some of the cloves in the center of that. And let's add some little decorative finishes to this now. Now I have some bells, and I'm thinking, let's put one on the orange. I think that'll look cool there. Just ever so slightly under the little white flower. I like the white flower because it really offsets the candle, and it looks like a little jasmine flower. So I'm going to add one little ornament decoration to each one of these. And I like this silver, so I didn't go with gold. I did the red and silver because we have the aquamarine happening there too with our collection. The hot glue on either side, one to touch the cinnamon stick and one to touch the orange to secure that into place. And I'm going to be adding some little red berries to these each as well. These are some little sparkle that need some love here. So again, we're going to add a little bit on the cinnamon stick, a little bit on the orange. I'm trying to avoid gluing this up as much as I possibly can so it can all be taken apart, and you can use some of this in simmer pots later. You could use this in your own crafts. Now these little teeny tiny ornaments that I got, and the little bells and the little berries, I did get at the dollar store. And for the wood cookies where I wrote on the Ogham alphabet, the letterings there, I got those from Amazon. You can get a box of like, I think 50 of them for, it's quite inexpensive, and they make wonderful ornaments. I've made all my pagan ornaments from those little wood cookies. I paint on different symbols and have a blast with them. I think that's it. We're going to add 3 berries, one top, one bottom, one in front, just to punch out a little bit of color. And now let's have a look at the reveal. So these recyclable little crafts are something that can be used all year round because the needles will fall. But with that brings on the light, and they can add anything you'd like to it. Now this could be a fire hazard with the pine needles, so pre-warn your friend. This is more of a decoration and could be played and used with later. Well, thank you so very much again for chilling out with me, and I want to wish you an absolutely magical Yule, safe holidays, and I wish you and yours an absolutely loving, beautiful new year.